Hey everybody, I'm Philip, and we are about to take a journey together into the world of Mulan. After I watched Mulan, the live action version, I was not happy. And I wrote a very lengthy, just all over the place rant about it. And I realized by now, since I waited so long, that there are many, many YouTubers who have done video essays, video reviews on the live action Mulan. And I'm also throwing my hat into that ring, but my experience is different because almost 100% that I saw of those YouTubers all saw the animated version in the 90s. I never have. So my only experience to Mulan is this movie. So basically, this is going to be ranty questions I have involving you, the audience out there. I don't know what happened in the animated version as compared to this one. So I have some questions and I'm going to be asking, and hopefully you can help me out. Before we get into it, I feel like I should be completely honest. I loathe Disney. And I'm sure many of you would just already hit stop. And that's totally fair. I don't like Disney. I find it a soulless, manufactured entity. Nothing feels authentic. Nothing feels real. But in fairness, I'm going to try and keep it in the confines of Mulan. My partner loves Disney, and I don't give them grief about it. You can like what you like. Like a very handsome YouTuber says, like what you like, don't be a dick. So I'm going to do my best to not offend anyone, but I have some honest questions about this movie. I figure to kind of balance the scales, I'll go over some of the things that I liked. So this little section is going to be called Things from Mulan That I Liked. I liked the villain. I thought he was cool. I liked evil Mulan. I thought she was cool. I liked how they switched sides on the horses. That was pretty cool. Let's move on to the stuff that I didn't like. To make this process easier, I'm going to go character by character with the questions that I have for everyone out there in relation, as I said, from this movie, the live action version, to the cartoon, or just questions in general I might have, or grievances I might have. So let's get right into it. Let's start with the title character, Mulan. Question number 1. Does she have magic fucking powers in the animated version? Because she did in this one. She could like fucking Pele kick stuff into other stuff. Who thought that was cool? It's not cool. Only Pele can make it look cool. And then he invented the move. It's named after him. No one else can make it look cool except for Pele. Well, AJ Styles. Question number 2. Does Mulan actually look like a fucking guy in the animated one? And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to do gender identifying stuff saying, you know, a man should look like this and a woman should look like this, but we're not talking about now. We're talking about what? Feudal China? She would have been caught immediately. In my opinion, here is the realistic story of Mulan. Hi everyone, I'm here. You're a woman. Dead. The end. Time out. Let's pause and take a mid-edit break for a second, because I can already feel the heat from the torches of the mob as you're coming for me. And I hate to be that person. Well, I have these kind of friends, but I do. I have friends on every range of the spectrum. That's not what this is about. This is about a portrayal of history that I feel like wasn't done very well. So I want to clarify 2 things before I receive the backlash that's going to come anyway. I think Liu Yifei did a great job in the role with what she was given. She did fine. I have a problem with the costuming and makeup design. It felt like they didn't even try. And that bugs me because we're talking about a very specific time in history. And I know I'm still going to get some hate over it, and that's fine, but I am not trying to disrespect anyone's personal struggle or identification. That has nothing to do with my problem or my issues with the way Mulan was portrayed as a man in the movie, because she was supposed to be a man, a woman being a man. It just felt half-assed. So that's the issue that I took. I'm not here to hate on anyone or anything like that. I hope that explains it a little more. So now let's get back to the video. In the animated version, does Mulan have her shedding the lie of who she is pretending to be and becoming who she actually is moment? like she did in this one? Does Mulan go back to the group who just all happen to be alive because plot armor? And then when she does go back to the group, does she just show up like that? Just, hey, I'm here now. I have boobs. Don't kill me. I was expecting this monumental, momentous series of events where she just spurned the stereotypes of her culture and rose up like that literal phoenix from the ashes into a badass warrior. Not just a female warrior, but a badass warrior. Instead, we got a lame, cliche L'Oreal meets CoverGirl commercial that was supposed to be impactful and meaningful, but instead was some just weak-ass portrayal of female empowerment because she put her hair down and took her armor off? Why is that enough? Why is that enough to satiate the masses? And speaking of taking her armor off, why did she do that? I get the symbolism. But you're in a war. Having the armor on did not inhibit her magic Pele powers back at basic training. Why would it matter now when you're in an actual war with people who are actually trying to fucking kill you? Let's move on. Let's move on from Mulan to the main villain. Briefly. Does the main villain also have magic powers like Quicksilver and can catch flying projectiles at will, mainly arrows? Does that exist in the animated one? On the main villain and his crew, a little side note. Dear Hollywood, not every single Asian action movie needs to have Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in it. Seriously. So since the animated one predates that, could the villains in that one defy gravity? Let's move on to my favorite character in the movie, Evil Mulan. In the animated version, is there an evil Mulan or something similar, like a shape-shifting druidic badass who was criminally underused and poorly written with the same exact motivations as her good witch sister? Does evil Mulan betray her captors for no reason? You can make one. They did. She was so powerful. Just play along, let them think they're in control, smash them to dust, and rule. Yes, give me that story. She could easily have overthrown Asian Machete and been the Empress of China. No one was as powerful as her. No one. She had a bunch of cool Mortal Kombat moves. Mulan had one fucking move, the stupid Pele kick. But no. She talked to her sister like 2 times, so now she's all, I'm going to help you win. I have a serious question I want to ask now. Let's move on. Let's go to the Emperor. I have to know. In the animated version, does he have magical fabric powers? Also, come close. I have a question. Why does everyone have magical powers? The main villain is Quicksilver and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Evil Mulan has awesome, badass shape-shifting powers and can throw shurikens really fast. Regular, boring Mulan can do her stupid, super fast Pele kick, and that's it. And now the Emperor is apparently the avatar of textiles. What the fuck? And the final entrant in my questioning of this movie are Mulan's army buddies. In the animated version, are they a bland mixture of nothing and abysmal that have no character development and zero personality? That's how they were here. In that group was the love interest that I use in very loose quotations. In the 1998 one, does the love interest actually feel like a love interest? Do they have any fucking chemistry? Because they sure as hell don't here. At best, he was super nice to her when everyone else is mean. That must equal love in Disney speak. They had zero chemistry, pre-sexual revelation, and even worse, post. But I guess her being all, I don't need no man at the end was supposed to be important and also empowering, and not another cliche, shoehorned, not earned, lame as fuck, Hollywood dumbing down of female empowerment. Hand to whatever God you believe in. If I were a woman, I would be insulted by all of this. This is about as female empowering as fucking Frozen. That is another rant for another day, so we're not going to get started on that one. So let's just wrap this up. I can feel the simmering, the I can just feel it bubbling, and it's turning into a boil, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole any farther than I have to. I just wanted to address the main big questions that I had as it pertains to things that I thought made no sense or were dumb or just outright insulting, which I found the entire movie to be. But overall, if I were going to describe this movie in one word, it would be garbage. This film was absolute garbage. It was pandering for the sake of pandering, without the window dressing or illusion that it was anything but that. At least Frozen had a fucking song that was so annoying it changed the entire narrative of the original story into something way more boring. Mulan doesn't have the common decency to even have a song. This story, this incarnation of this story, should not have been about Mulan. This should have been about evil Mulan. Give me her backstory. Her story was so much more tragic to the point it changed her completely. She wasn't always a malicious person. So what made her that way? Her evolution of a character as a character is so much more interesting to me than what we got with this just watered down, cliche, gross, pandering, lowest common denominator storytelling of the title character. And it's annoying because you had Evil Mulan's story right there. Give me more of her backstory. How was she ostracized for her gender? How did she start fighting back? When did she start fighting back? The story you could have told with her is so much more interesting than regular boring Mulan, because evil Mulan has been fighting this fight. She has the years of battle scars and persecution written all over her. You can see it in her face. In comparison, I don't care about a spoiled, rambunctious girl with magic Pele powers. I care about a woman who has been so wronged by society, she went full evil Saiyan just to survive. That is your story. That is where the money is, and they blew it.